Kia ora iti whānau. Welcome to the Wellington Regional Leadership Committee. Can I please ask Darren Apanui to open the meeting with karakia?
Kia ora, Lucas. Ko te mea tūtahi ngā mihi nui ki a koutou ngā rauranga tira ko tai mai nei ki Manaaki te kaupapa o te rā, no reira mihi nui ki a koutou katoa. Ki tīmata tātou hui, he karakia, no reira hino i tātou. Whakataka te hau ki te uru, whakataka te hau kia mā kina ki uta, kia mā taratara ki tai, e hiake te atakura, he huka, he tio, he hauhu, ti hei, mauri ora. Kia ora tātou.
Cool. Thank you, Member Apanui. Just by way of introduction, my name is Lucas Stevenson. I'm a Democratic Services Advisor here at Greater Wellington, and I have the pleasure of chairing this meeting until you have elected your Chair and Deputy Chair. So starting off, we have apologies. We have received apologies from Mayor Burney and from Mayor Bex. Are there any other apologies? I do not see any. Can I please have a mover? Thank you, Councillor Chair Darren. Do I also have a seconder? Thank you, Mayor Little. All those in favour, please say aye. All those against? Carried. Thank you. I'll also just note that we have a few members online. These members are Ray Hall, Helmut Modlik, and Denise Harpeter. Thank you. We now come to item 2, conflicts of interest declarations. Are there any interests for members to declare? I see none, so we move on. We come to public participation. We have not received any requests for public participation, but I'll just check the public gallery. I do not see any. Thank you. We now come to item 4, process for the election of the Chair and Deputy Chair. Since the writing of this report, there have been no updates. I will just, at a high level, just go through some key points. The committee needs to agree whether the chairperson should be independent. If you decide that the chairperson is not independent, the chair and deputy chair will be drawn from the existing members. There's also a recommendation that the chair, if it is a local government member, the deputy chair should be an iwi member and vice versa. You also need to agree to the election process, including selecting voting system A or B. The chairperson is nominated by the committee to the administering authority, which is the Greater Wellington Regional Council, for appointment. This is required by the terms of reference. In the absence of the chairperson being appointed, the deputy chairperson will preside for the remaining portion of the meeting. If that person is online, you will need to decide from a person within the room to preside at the rest of this meeting. I'm happy to take questions on the report. There are no questions on the report. So the first step is to move and second the recommendations as stated in the report. Do I have a mover for the recommendations? Thank you, Mayor Baker. Do I have a seconder? Thank you, Member Apanui. Mayor Baker, which system are you selecting? A. Thank you. Are there any debate on that motion? There being none, I will put the motion. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. All those against? Any abstentions? That is carried. We now come to the nomination of the chairperson, and I'll open up to the floor. Mayor Z, you have your hand up first.
Can I nominate Darren for the chair?
Do you have a seconder? Thank you, Huia. Are there any other nominations? Mayor Baker.
Can I nominate Andrew Little?
Yes. Do you have a seconder for that? Mayor Laban, thank you. Okay. I'll just pause for a moment while I consider how I haven't come across this situation before. So I think we put the first nomination to the vote. So all those selecting Council Chair Darren Ponter, please raise your hands. Eight. And all those who are voting for Mayor Little, please raise your hands. The votes are 8 votes for Council Chair Ponta and 4 votes for Mayor Andrew Little. I declare that Council Chair Ponta is nominated as the chairperson. We now come to the election of the deputy chair. As you have voted for a local government member as your nominee for chairperson, your deputy chairperson will need to come from the iwi members. So I'll call for nominations for the deputy chairperson.
I would like to nominate Helmut Modlik for the deputy chair role. Kia ora.
Thank you. And do I have a seconder? Councillor Chair Ponta, thank you. Are there any other nominations? There being none, I declare that Helmut Modlik has been elected as your chairperson. Because Helmut is online, standing orders does not allow the presiding member to chair the meeting online, so you will now need to select between yourselves in the room who will be the presiding member for the rest of the meeting. And I'll just say thank you for your time for letting me chair for that part of the meeting.
We're now up to item 5, which is the confirmation, the public minutes of the Wellington Regional Leadership Committee, 18th of March 2025. Do I have a mover and a seconder? Moved Councillor Puketapu, Member Puketapu, sorry, and Mayor Janet Holbrook. All those in favour, please say aye. Those opposed? Paper passed, thank you. Paper 5, adoption of the 2026 meeting schedule, which you have in front of you. 23rd of June, 22nd of September, 8th of December. Do I have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Mayor Cretney, sorry, and Mayor Zay. All those in favour, please say aye. Those opposed? None. Paper passed, thank you. Paper 7, Regional Leadership Committee members' introduction. Time to perform, Darren. Right, we're in your hands. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Jane. I'm the Head of Secretariat for the WRLC, and this is the first meeting that we've had since the local government elections in October last year. So we thought we might do just a couple of slides, a little quick introduction on the purpose, priorities and work programme. And sometimes I think it's really helpful just having some slides. It shows all the organisations that are in the WRLC. So just on this first slide are the iwi, the 6 iwi that are in the WRLC. The second slide is all of the councils that are in the WRLC, and Horowhenua is included. It's above the regional council line. The rationale for that was there's strong connections to transport and economics. This is the largest urban growth partnership in New Zealand. You can just see from the number of organisations on the screen. There is also the ability to have 3 ministers in the WRLC, but at this time there are none. There were 2 in the previous government. I'll just share there all of the government departments that are also part of this partnership. It's quite a few, and again, when you look at that on the screen, it just shows the richness of the team. There's also Wellington Water and Wellington NZ who are with us today. And then just the final slide there, just in the top right hand corner, there is the ability to have observers. We have 2 at the moment. Horizons is online and Te Mata Rau Amare. We have had a couple of conversations with the mayors from Palmerston North, Tararua and Manawatu, they are interested to be observers, and how the terms of agreement arranges that is that that can be at the appointment of the chair. Thought also it would be good for you to just see how the structure works. So I've talked about who's in the committee, iwi leaders, and mayors and chairs. We try to reflect the mix of iwi, council and central government through the structure that supports that. So the same for the CEs, who have traditionally met quarterly, the senior staff who meet every month and have a forward work program, and then there are a number of project teams and work groups. So it's consistent across all of those groups. Just in terms of the foundations for our work, you'll see in the centre there the Future Development Strategy was approved in 2024 by this group. Going back to the left-hand side, there was the Wellington Regional Growth Framework, and that was this committee could see that it was good to speak with one voice, and that's the piece of work that came out of it. And then to the right, the proposed Regional Spatial Plan, which we'll be talking about in the workshop later. I thought it was just useful to say what the purpose of this group is. It's a simple sentence: to work collaboratively to shape the future growth in the Wairapa, Wellington and Horowhenua. And you can just see there the strategic direction covers five things. Urban development, providing affordable housing, realising iwi and hapu values and aspirations, planning with a low emissions future, prioritising nature, climate and culture, and providing opportunities for productive, sustainable local employment. In the SDS, there is an inclusion of the iwi values and aspirations, and I'll just pass to Darren now to share how that was done.
Kia ora no tātou e ngā rauranga tira I wainganui a tātou. This document was formed through a series of wānanga that was held by iwi partners between 2021 through to 2023. The document that we came up with was Te Tirohanga Whakamua. Te Tirohanga Whakamua can be best described as enduring principles or tikanga that supports the foundations and the work of this particular committee. Many of you are familiar with some of the concepts that are within this particular framework, and there is nothing different to what you understand the words to be. I think what is more important is that you have a collaboration between iwi partners of this region and the councils and regional councils, as well as central government organisations that are part of the wider committee. That is the strength of this document. It doesn't have a time frame. It's beyond the 30 years. As I said before, it's a universal, enduring document. Kia ora.
And then just the final slide there is, we thought it was good just to pop up here what we're working on at the moment. So implementing that future development strategy also includes implementing the regional development, economic development plan, increasing the climate capability and resilience through the regional adaptation project, and assuring industrial land supply for economic development. And the last one, accelerating housing through the priority development area. And later in the meeting, there is an update on how we're tracking on all those projects.
Right.
Thank you.
Any questions in relation to that? They might come at in this paper, or they could follow in the next paper. Mezo.
Thank you so much. It's very helpful.
Oh, microphone. Oh, you need to put your microphone on. Sorry. The people online can't.
Get my whānau online. Kia ora. Hopefully you can hear me now. Thank you so much. My question is around the ministers, and I know that's been a topic of conversation for several of us, especially in the last few months. Is there any update perhaps from the chair or otherwise around conversations had to entice our ministers that are already assigned to join us, or reevaluate, or otherwise?
So I think we have had engagement with Minister Bishop's office recently, and he might otherwise have attended this meeting, but there isn't a lot of substance in this meeting, and so we have suggested that he come to a later meeting in the year. That's the primary engagement that we've had at the moment. One of the difficulties we face here is trying to get ministers in the same timeframe that we're working. As most of you will know, Andrew will be aware, that's a little bit difficult. Wednesdays and Thursdays are busy days. If we did an evening meeting, it might work out a little bit better, and there may be a call on your time at some point if we need to do that. Any other questions at this stage? So just one question from me. How does a regional deal fit with the regional development mandate of this organisation, this body?
The regional deal was part of one of the work program items. It's included in the budget, so we would have the capacity and a small amount of money to pull that together.
And do we have a sense of how regions that have put regional deals in front of the government are tracking on those? Because I thought that they were supposed to come to some fruition prior to Christmas, but I certainly haven't heard anything.
I keep in contact with the other urban growth partnerships, but I haven't really got any solid updates in terms of how they're tracking with their regional deals.
Okay. Right. If there are no other questions, and there don't seem to be any online, we'll move on to paper 8. Thank you, Korua. Right, Secretariat report. Welcome all.
Kia ora everyone. A warm welcome to all of you. Nice to see the returning faces, and especially to our new members. I'm really looking forward to working with you guys over the next few years. I'm Alan Yip. I'm the Program Manager for the Leadership Committee. I oversee the program of work. We make sure that the projects move forward. We draw on the partnership for resource and capability, and we report progress back to you every quarter. This is a regular agenda item. It's a progress check-in really, and it's to keep us accountable for the work that we're doing. It's also to give you assurance that all of our work is aligned to what you've asked us to do. It's also to surface any major issues that need discussion and to recognise where things went well. I need to reiterate that none of the work we do on our own. We do it with the help of staff from all of your organisations. We draw on the strength of the region for our work. Despite the fact that nothing's changed from the report since it's been written, we did want to give you a bit of context to pull together a few highlights. So Ellie, who wrote the report, will go through this, and I promise she's not going to read out the whole report, because even though her writing is pretty good, I don't want to bore you to death. And then we'll hand over to Mark Aldershaw, who will talk a little bit about how the economic development plan fits into our wider program. So over to you, Ellie.
Kia ora koutou. My name is Ellie Taki. I'm the Program Advisor for the Secretariat and the Committee. As Alan said, this quarterly report provides updates on project progress, key insights and implications for you to consider. This one also outlines the purpose of each project. As Jane introduced earlier, there are 5 projects and programs on the go. Each addresses a regional focus that crosses territorial boundaries and requires partnership or coordination to be effective. The projects all interconnect, and together the mahi forms a coherent approach to how the region will change and grow over the next few decades. One of the benefits of the program is telling a single planning and investment story for the region. In this quarter, that story is a region collaborating through change and reform, strengthening evidence bases for future planning, and setting strong foundations for long-term well-being of Te Taio and our communities. So I recognise we don't have much time and I don't want to bore you. So I'm going to whiz through the projects pretty quickly. But of course, there's more info in the report, and any of us are happy to give more detail another time. So Jane introduced the Future Development Strategy. That's a key guiding document for the program, likely to be replaced by regional spatial planning. For spatial planning broadly, the housing and business capacity assessment is the core evidence. It gives a shared understanding of housing supply and demand, business land supply and demand, and infrastructure readiness across the region. And that helps us understand where growth should or should not be prioritised. It's a statutory requirement that used to be contracted by councils individually and is now one efficient regional study. It directly informs long-term plans and investment sequencing, and it's the analytical backbone of any future spatial planning alongside environmental and climate risk analyses. And that is supported by the Regional Adaptation Project. So the Adaptation Project is establishing a regionally consistent, te tiriti grounded approach to climate adaptation. And that's something pretty hard to do effectively if every council in iwi is working alone. It's giving us practical tools, an enduring partnership, and a clear spatial understanding of where our most urgent and risky areas are. And this will support all future regional planning. The Regional Economic Development Plan is another of our key guiding documents, and that sets a shared direction for economic diversification, productivity, and resilience. Its implementation helps deliver the future development strategy, and it also guides the spatial implications of regional economic growth. And Mark will talk a little bit more about this shortly. Another key focus of the future development strategy and a program that will continue to inform strategic planning are the priority development areas. So these are large-scale urban developments, often housing, where partnerships are essential to unlock housing and economic outcomes. So these really show how regional coordination opens doors for partnerships with central government, our partners, some in the room, and the private sector. And last but not least, the Industrial Land Project. Now, this was born from a challenge identified by the last Housing and Business Capacity Assessment, which showed us that there was not enough industrial land in the region for the economic growth that we have and that we want. So that means that growing businesses are looking for suitable land, and if they're not finding it, they're leaving the region, taking jobs and GDP with them. So this work provides a regional view of industrial land demand, supply, and the infrastructure requirements that businesses are looking for. It's supporting us to build further economic resilience by aligning land use and infrastructure investment with economic development, basically making sure that the businesses that we want in the region have land options with the infrastructure that they need. So each of these projects has leveraged lessons that we've learned from individual and collective previous efforts. It's this collaboration and coordination of the partners that is the strength of the program. And it is creating one interconnected system of planning that supports system scales decisions, makes it easier to address shared challenges across our boundaries, build on local strengths, increase our collective influence, and ultimately deliver better outcomes for our environments and our communities. So I'll pass on to Mark Oldershaw, who is the CEO of Wellington NZ, and they lead the implementation of the Regional Economic Development Plan. Over to you, Mark.
Morena, e te whānau. Good to see you all. I think I know you all. Thanks for the opportunity to just give a quick update on the Regional Economic Development Plan. I've spent, along with my GM Stu Taylor, have spent a bit of time with you individually in terms of the 6 months update. I know there's a couple of mayors that we're catching up with over the next sort of week. Also continue to work ongoing with our mana whenua partners as well in terms of the development of what's in the economic plan. Good news is I confirm we've got one economic plan, and from our perspective, we think it's operating well. It is your plan, and I really want to reinforce that. The regional leadership group does own the plan and owns the actions that come out of that plan. So you have the ability to continue to ensure that as a group we're focusing on the right things. The plan itself is administered through Wellington ENZ. We have a steering group that constantly focuses on outcomes and again ensuring that we're doing the right things within the right time frame set by this group. There's a steering group that sits within that. I chair that steering group, and that steering group then feeds through to the regional leadership group in terms of actions. You all do have representation on that steering group. Generally through your council officers. Some of you I know have got shared arrangements with other councillors, but if you feel that representation needs a look at, please do ensure that you get in touch with me. The plan has 33 initiatives, but it's primarily focused on jobs, ensuring that we have a diversified regional economy and that from a regional basis, we continue to focus on better quality of life for our population. Four sector areas that I hope you're all familiar with: screen, STEM, visitor economy, and food and fibre. And then sitting under that is 4 enablers that ensure that we unlock the development that we need. That's very much around the Māori economy. A lot of that work and a lot of that mahi is led by Te Matauranga Māui. Skills, talent, education, water, and industrial land. So hopefully those are all areas that you're all very familiar with. Can I just reiterate that this is your plan? You do own the outcomes of this plan. If there's anything in there that you think might need further focus, then please do get in touch here. I think most of you know where I live. So happy to pick up the phone at any stage and talk through those specific things. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions arising from that brief presentation? Where?
Kia ora tātou. Thank you for that presentation. Mike, a question for you. Given that you've highlighted a couple of times that we own the plan, I'm interested in some confirmation that Te Tirohanga Whakamua will be included in that plan as part of that overall framework that you follow as well, given that it's placed at this top end at our table, things that flow down thereafter and other, subsidiary type arrangements also are following that plan. Can you confirm that that's the case, please?
Yes, I can confirm that's arrangement. I'm very happy to have a catch up in a separate occasion if need be.
Okay. Any questions online? Ray, Kim, Helmut? No? You're not contemplating a question, are you, Kim? No? Okay. In that case, thank you very much, everybody. Light agenda.
Sorry, just one other question. Beg your pardon. Before you all leave, I'm interested to know how we can help provide some direction for where we go to from here, please. And I'd like you to be frank and honest about that. It'll be really helpful to us. Kia ora.
I think that the major piece of work that's being signalled by the local government reforms that directly relates to the work that we've done in the past and where we have skills is the regional spatial plan. So we totally understand that mayors and CEs are focused on simplifying local government, water reforms, and keeping rates low. This is something, frankly, you can hand over to our team. Our team has already delivered the regional growth framework. We've delivered the FDS. We have skills and ability in this area. And in fact, the terms of reference of this committee actually mentions spatial planning. So that's something that we could do. That's in the bill.
Any other questions?
So, yeah, sorry. Can I just ask a quick question? I'm was a bit reluctant to because I've only just started attending these meetings again. But in relation to spatial planning, one thing I've been increasingly concerned about is slope stability.
Right. Okay. Sarah's not a member, so she's not able to ask questions, but we couldn't get to her quick enough to let her know that. Right. Any other questions from members of the committee? No. If that's the case, then let me close this with a karakia, recognising that we've also got a workshop immediately after this. Kia tau te rangi Māori, ki runga, ki raro, ki roto, ki waho. Haeo ki te aorangi, ki whakamaua, ki a tina, hui e, tai ki e. Thank you, everybody.
It is a new link for the workshop.
For those of you who are online, it's a new link for the workshop, so you'll have to log off and log on. Thank you.
This happens.